The Solar Creator will get a new feature by the end of the year. A very warm welcome to this webinar. This webinar will be about the Solar Creator and the backup power calculator. As I said, this is a feature that will get out soon. Now in this webinar I will show you the beta version, and by end of the year you will be able to enjoy this new feature. I hope many of you are already using the Solar Creator, and we know that there are most customers, they design or they want to design their PV system according to their load profile, according to their daily use of electricity. But we know that some, and maybe some are quite a bit of people, they are calculating their PV system by their backup power. So they want to be ready if there is a grid failure, and they want to be ready to satisfy a certain number of loads. And this is exactly where the backup power calculator comes into play. With this tool, you can design a PV system according to certain loads. And in this webinar, I will show you this new feature. My name is Max. I'm part of the trainings team in Fronius Solar team. As always, if you have questions, feel free to ask them at any time. My colleague Tony is behind the camera and he will answer those questions as good as he can. I will show you this new backup power calculator, as I said, in the beta version. And I'm here in the Solar Creator in this overview or the surface you already know. What is new is this button over here. So there's Quick PV Design, and right next to it the backup power calculator. I open it and then I can start a backup power configuration. And yeah, we're just doing that. So first of all, I can choose the location. I choose the location of our facility. So this is in Wels. This is just relevant of the hours of sunshine that are here. And then I can go to energy. And first of all, in energy, I can enter an assumed energy consumption. And I can do that per day, per month, or per year. It doesn't really matter which period you're using. If I'm using year and I say there is an energy consumption of, let's say, 7,000 kilowatt hours per year, then this means that it's divided by 365, and this equals the daily consumption. So it just depends on the customer. Maybe the customer knows what he is using per day, more or less, or per month, or per year. And below here, I can enter the required backup hours. So how many hours do I want to be independent? Do I want to be ready for a power outage? Let's say we say this period is 16 hours. And then when I click on power outage, then I can choose which appliances I want to have running if there is a power outage, and how much those appliances consume. And we do have 4 categories here: basic, regular, advanced, and custom. Basic, those are appliances with very low consumption. So you see this is lighting, for example, a computer, microwave, refrigerator, and so on and so forth. Regular, with a bit higher consumption: television, dishwasher, or washing machine. And in advanced, those appliances with a high energy demand: electric stove, oven, air conditioning systems, or maybe an electric vehicle. And as you see, we do have prepared the most common loads, and you can use them if you want. And if you want to add any specific loads, then you just click here on custom, and you can then add specific loads. I already prepared here some. So I prepared a whirlpool. Yeah, and you can add one if you want to. So let's say in this household we assume we want to use lighting, in a case of grid failure, computer, microwave, refrigerator, internet, of course, so on and so forth. You can also set this mark here at refrigerator and then customize it. You see here you can enter continuous power and peak power. So continuous power is what it is using at every moment. Peak power, what does it need for ramping up? Let's say this is, in this case, the refrigerator is running at 100 watts, and for a short moment it can use up to 1000 watt. Average daily operating hours, in the case of a refrigerator, 24 hours. Those are the basic settings, and then you can also do advanced settings. And advanced settings, you can enter the simultaneity factor. So this means we say it has a continuous power of 100 watt, but simultaneity factor says it is running, let's say, at only 50% of its power. In case of a refrigerator, it probably doesn't make sense. Think of an electric stove. A stove has four plates, but you are using only one. Or let's say you are using two in case of in a backup power scenario. And in that case, the simultaneity factor is 50%. So you're only using 50% of what it usually is taking. And the duty cycle is a very similar setting. Duty cycle makes sense in that case of a refrigerator. So the refrigerator is running at 100 watt, but only for, let's say, it is running for 5 minutes, and then it is 5 minutes again, it is shut down, is not running, and then it's switching on again. And with duty cycle, again, you can state how much percent of its time is it running and what percentage of its time it is switched off. So very similar to the simultaneity factor. Usually you will be fine with those basic settings here above. For those of you who want to go into detail, then you can use the advanced settings. So these are the loads I choose in the category basic. Let's say also in a backup scenario, we want to use the dishwasher and the washing machine, and also the electric stove, the electric oven, and also we want to charge the electric vehicle. And then I click on calculate. And then I get a suggestion for PV generator size and for battery size. And you see the PV generator size is rather small. It's only 5.8 kilowatt peak. This is only the recommendation of PV generator size that you need for satisfying the loads you just entered. Of course, if you're having a battery of 22 kilowatt hours, then you will choose a larger PV generator size. And the battery system size is recommended of at least 22 kilowatt hours. This is referring to, on the one hand, to the loads you entered. It is also referring to the general energy demand. So if you say this is 7,000 kilowatt hours per year, divided by 365 is the daily consumption, and also this daily consumption has to be satisfied with this battery size. And what is also included in this calculation is the necessary charging and discharging speed. So let's say we have here a refrigerator that is using 100 watts continuously, but for a short moment of time it can use up to 1000 watt. Then this is also this is also running into the calculation here. And below you see those two numbers. Battery only backup, it says 24 hours plus. So this means according to all the loads we entered here, and if we have this battery here, then we can run those loads at least for 24 hours. Combined, if the PV generator size of 5.8 kilowatt peak and this battery size combined, then we can run those loads longer than 7 days. What you can do then is to download the report. Then a PDF is generated. It's also something you can show the customer. So basically what the system is consisting of, and then what basic loads, regular loads, and advanced loads are calculated with in the backup scenario. And what you also can do is transfer the data to the solar creator. So you start here with the backup calculator, and then you want to translate this data into a regular solar creator planning. You can do that. You do it here, transfer the data, and then you enter the solar creator as you know it. You enter project name, customer data. I will leave it out for now. Click on next. Then residential, you can choose what the presettings for your project. Next. And then you start the project and you enter the mask you already know from the creator. And then the details you already entered, they are also pre-entered here. So the solar irradiance, for example, and the location of the PV system. Also the annual power consumption you entered. So in this case, this was 7,000 kilowatt hours per year. The load profile is per default always Monday to Sunday. Evening peak consumption, you can change that, of course. The PV arrays, they are not entered yet. So there you have to choose the manufacturer and the model, and I just choose here randomly or whatever. And what is also entered is the inverter that you need to use for the backup scenario. As you can see here, this is the wrong picture, of course. This is a Simogen 24 and not a snap inverter. As I said, this is the beta version, and this will be turned correctly until the release. And then if you click on Start Calculation, then it's just the same as all the other plannings you're used to in the Solar Creator. We are getting to an end of this webinar. I showed you a new feature that is available in the Solar Creator, the Backup Power Calculator. With the Backup Power Calculator, you can enter certain loads and also the annual or daily consumption respectively of a household, and then according to this data calculate the perfect PV size and the perfect battery size. As I said, this feature is not out yet. What I showed you is the beta version. This feature will enter the market by end of the year, so very soon. I hope this webinar was useful for you. As always, the recording is sent to you and you can rewatch it at any time. Further documents can be found on our homepage on fronius.com. There you find the possibility to register for webinars, for online trainings, or also for face-to-face trainings here in Austria. My colleagues and me, we are very happy to welcome you at any of those trainings. And last but not least, a recommendation to click on our YouTube channel. There you find a lot of how-to videos, so short explanation videos. You also find there already held trainings and webinars. And if you have a problem, then probably you find the solution or you find the answer in our YouTube channel as well. I wish you a lot of success with the Solar Creator, and please enjoy the new Backup Power Calculator. I hope this webinar was useful for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Until then, bye-bye.